So today we're going to talk about dialogue in screenplay writing, which is very different from dialogue in novel or short story writing. So the words that the character says are obviously called the dialogue, and the words of a particular character are sometimes referred to as their lines. When characters speak great lines, the audience always remembers them. If dialogue is written correctly, it matches the role and personality of the character. The better you know the character, the more your dialogue will match the character. So dialogue is, of course, written the way that people speak. So it means that they might not have perfect grammar, but the dialogue should make sense to the audience. Because dialogue is heard and not read, it can't be too long or complicated. If it is, the audience tends to get confused. The lines that the characters say have to fit with the plot of the story. So the best screenwriters prepare the audience for important lines. They might use music or the words of other characters to prepare the audience. This builds up and gets the attention of the audience so that they don't miss a line. Not every word of dialogue in a movie is important. Even so, it has to be written well and sound like the character so the audience will find the character believable, which is always our ultimate goal. So once again, I'm using an example from the movie Band Slam. You can see that I have the interior hallway outside the classroom. Kids are pouring out of class. Sam and Will bring up the end of the students, and we have some dialogue between the two of them. So keys to creating memorable dialogue: you need to imagine each character who is speaking when you write dialogue. This will help you write the way the character should speak. Each character should sound different from the other characters. They definitely shouldn't all sound the same. Remember the mood of the character when you're writing your dialogue. The dialogue should match the mood, of course. And keep each section of the dialogue short enough so that the audience will be able to understand it. If a character must say a lot of dialogue at one time, have other characters speak briefly every once in a while. This helps the audience to kind of keep up. Write the way the people speak, not formally as you would for a written text. Your characters should speak naturally like your friends or other people you know, so slang is appropriate for various different scenarios. It also helps to say each line of dialogue out loud to be sure that it sounds the way you want it to sound, since these lines are lines that are ultimately meant to be spoken. You want to be sure that the major characters have the most lines. When one character stops talking and another one starts, be sure the conversation makes sense to the audience. Write the dialogue so it helps the story move along. You are always wanting to advance the action. When the scene and setting change, the dialogue will probably change a bit as well. So again, those formatting conventions, I know we've gone over them before, but that career, typeface, or font, first line of words is in all capital letters showing the specific setting. The next two lines are going to describe your scene. All scenes are shown in regular type, starting at the left margin and run all the way across the page. The name of the character speaking the lines is in all capital letters, just about centered. The dialogue or lines that the character says are in regular type below the name. They're tabbed 2 inches from the left margin. Specific actions of a character are shown in parentheses, like waving to his mom. And when more than one character speaks the same words at the same time, the speakers are listed joined by slashes. The last thing that we're going to talk about is subtext. The text of a dialogue is the words on the page, what the character says, but the subtext is the emotional content of the words. It's the character's true feelings and intentions, which, for various reasons, they are choosing not to reveal. So when characters describe their intentions too directly, the subtext becomes too easy to follow. When that happens, scripts become dull. Such dialogue is called too on the nose, so we want to be conscientious of that. All right, thank you.